Lesson 7-4, Adding and Subtracting Rational Expressions. So to add and subtract fractions, remember rational expressions are fractions. You need the least common denominator, or LCD. If that's already present, you just add or subtract the numerators only. For example, 2/5 plus 3/5. The denominators are both 5, so we just add the top. We have 2 of these fifths and 3 of these fifths. 2 plus 3 make 5 of these fifths. Denominator stays the same. And yes, I know 5 over 5 is 1. If there are not already common denominators, you factor all the denominators. For example, 1 over 12 plus 1 over 8. 12 is 4 times 3, which is 2 times 2, so it's 2 times 2 times 3. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. The lowest common denominator is the product of the highest power of each factor in either expression. So here I've got 2 2's. That's the same. So those are going to stay the same. So our common denominator will be the 2 2's. But we also need the other things. So the 12 needs a 2. The 8 needs a 3. Whatever you multiply the bottom by, you multiply the top by. So I multiplied by the 2, so I multiply the top by the 2. Here I multiply the bottom by a 3, multiply the top by the 3. The other way to look at it is going back to the 1/12 plus 1/8. Again, 12 is 2 times 2 times 3, which is 2 squared and 3 to the first. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 cubed. So we're going to multiply the highest power of each factor. So 2's, for the 2's, the highest power is the cubed. So it'll be 2 cubed. And for the 3, the highest power is 1. So it'll be 3 to the first. So 2 cubed is 8 times 3 is 24. Notice we got the same common denominator. Let's try page 382, number 9. Find the least common multiple of, or in other words, if these were fractions, what would be the least common denominator? Well, I need to factor. The first one is just 5 times x. The other one I could factor out of 5. Leaving that. So each of the factors, the lowest common multiple or denominator is going to be, we have 5 to the first, so we're going to have that. We have x to the first and x minus 2. I didn't put the 5 twice because it was already in both. The highest power of each of those was to the first. So it was just 5 to the first, x minus 2 to the first. Pause this and you try number 11. Help you out. These factor into 2x minus 3, x plus 3. The other one is x plus 4, x minus 3. So our factors, we have a 2, and then we have a x minus 3 in both, but I only need to put it once. And then I have a x plus 3 and a x plus 4. So the 2, the x plus 3, it happens to be in both to the first power, so I only need to put it here to the first power. Then I have x plus 3 and the x plus 4. Let's try page 382, number 1. All right, notice where I'm adding, they already have a common denominator, so I can just add those together. 15 plus 5 is 20. And then I can reduce. 20 over 4 is 5. Why don't you pause this and try number 5? The answer is 5x plus 15 over x plus 3. Should try to factor to see if we can reduce. Oh, look at that. The x plus 3 is reduced, and you're left with 5. All right, let's try number 19. You can see the difference here is we do not have a common denominator. So that's the first job, is to find the common denominator. So we need to factor. So what times what makes x squared is x times x. Times what makes 24, and I want to add to make 5. So negative 24 could be negative 8 times 3, or positive 8 and a negative 3. That adds to make 5. All right, so now notice they both have the x minus 3, which means the second one needs the x plus 8. So I'm going to multiply it by x plus 8. Whatever I multiply by on the bottom, have to multiply on top also. So the first fraction didn't change, but the second one, I'm going to have to distribute, be 3x and 24. All right, and you see now the denominators are the same, so we can add. So the 3x doesn't add with anything, but the 12 and the 24 add together to make 36. And then we should factor the top to see if we can cancel anything. There's a common factor of a 3. So I can factor out the 3. And is there anything the same at the top and bottom? Nope. So that is the answer. Why don't you pause this and try number 17. The answer should be 2 times x plus 7 over x plus 4 times x plus 6. Now that we've done multiplying and dividing and adding and subtracting, we can deal with complex fractions, which are fractions within fractions. Just follow the order of operations, means you'll do groups first. And remember, in a fraction, everything on top is a group, everything else on the bottom is a group, and then you divide. All right, let's try number 39. You can see there's fractions and fractions and fractions. So what we're going to do is we are going to deal with each part separately. So let's start with the top fraction. Let's start with this one there. Let's factor its denominator. There's a common factor of a 3. Okay. We can factor that more, but we'll do that in the next step. And the bottom, we can factor the second denominator. It's 3 terms. So what times what is x squared? What times what is negative 4? And I want to add to make negative 3. So maybe negative 4 and a 1. All right, next step. On the top, I can factor this x squared minus 1. It's a difference of squares. So it would be x minus 1, x plus 1. On the bottom, I need a common denominator. So there's this x plus 1 in both, so this first one needs the x minus 4. So I could distribute and get 5x minus 20. The second one already has the full denominator, so I don't have to do anything to it. All right, the top is fully factored. Now on the bottom, I'm going to do this subtraction. So I have 5x minus x is 4x. And we have negative 20 minus 4 would be negative 24. All right, so now it's a fraction divided by a fraction. You divide fractions by multiplying by the reciprocal. Hey, we could factor a common factor out of the 4x minus 24, so maybe we'll do that really quick. Could factor out of 4, leaving x minus, let's see, 24 divided by 4 is 6. All right, anything cancel, top and bottom? Well, we've got the x plus 1 cancels. So on the top, I'm left with x minus 4 times 1, which is x minus 4. On the bottom, I've got 3 times 4 is 12. The x minus 1 and the x minus 6. No, you don't have to multiply it out. That's good. Why don't you pause this while you try number 35. The answer should be x times x minus 18 over 6 times 5x plus 2.